If you're in hustle camp, you already. Hey, what's going on? Today, we're going to talk about how to get out of poverty. I've talked about this before, how to stop being poor, how to make more money, things that you should do, but I didn't drop everything. Plus, those of you who want to be members of Hustle Camp, you're going to want to be a member today because I'm going to raise the price. I'll get into all that later. Watch to the end of the video or the live stream. And we'll talk about that because I got something real interesting. It's not a long training, but it will only be in Hustle Camp. So the members of Hustle Camp can benefit versus me spreading all this over the internet and jacking it up. If you're in Hustle Camp, you already saw the post that I put in there, and it makes a huge difference. All right, let me get rid of this. And what we're going to do, make sure I got all that turned down, is talk about the process. Talk about some of the things that you need to do to change your economic life. I'm going to give you my story and what I did, and hopefully you'll find benefit. I fell into a really, really bad situation. This was years ago, about 18 to be exact. And I was ass out. Didn't have any money. Some of my friends, most of my friends had turned their backs on me. It was really, really bad. And then there was this 2.5, almost 3 year period of economic stagnation and really economic regression. You know, I fell pretty deep, and it was a life-changing moment, a life-changing set of years. And I realized something, in terms of changing your economic status, I'm not going to give you the work hard edict. There's more to it. It's much, much, much more. And one of the things that I did, and I want you to, just go through the whole process of, I made a decision, I executed, I had strategy. I had really, really good strategy. And I did something in 6 weeks I couldn't do in 2.5 years, which was move out of the boarding house, move into a nicer house, get a better job. What I did in 6 weeks was change my social economic class. I went from poverty, call it, that's the thing, to middle class in 6 weeks. Better standard of living, 3 times the money. I was associating with a better type of person. Things were really, really good. Now, part of that is, and we're going to talk about the strategy aspect first. After I got laid off for the 3rd time in 18 months, I went home to that room in that boarding house, and I took a bunch of sheets of paper. I had paper. I even had a computer in that boarding house. I was a different kind of homeless person. And I started to think. I put stuff up on the wall. I named stuff. I was scribbling all night. And I came up with a strategy that, A, working 2 jobs, which I had done, wasn't going to move me out of that house. B, going back to school was not plausible because I didn't have any money. And then C was get a better job. C was the most viable, and that's what I did. Now, the thing is, I had fell out of my career, so I couldn't go back to that. And then I had this other issue of no one to talk to, no car. So the job had to be really good. It had to be on the bus line because I didn't have a car. And it had to make, to have the potential, and this was in the 90s, to make $40,000 a year. So I go through all this process and I come up with this plan. I go to monster.com and I find these jobs. I reverse engineer it. I did not write my resume first. I found a job and I tailored my resume to the jobs. I did it for 5 jobs. 3 of the people called me back. I landed, and I don't even know if I would have gotten those other jobs, because when Rent-A-Crate called me back, I went for the interview. I got the call from Shanley. I got the offer letter. I was like, sold. I wasn't going to play around. It was a desperate situation. I was like, wait a minute, they're giving me what I want. I'm moving on. So, part of the laws or the rules or the guidelines of changing your socioeconomic class is you've got to increase your income. One of the great tricks that have been played on the educated class is they've taken income out of middle class. This is the great trick. If you have a college degree, you're considered middle class regardless of your income. That is false. That's garbage. That's a problem. And there are many people who have fallen for the okie doke. Hold on a second. I'll be right back. Let's see if this is going to work. Well, we'll see if this will work. Because I am not in the off. Oh, I don't know. Maybe. It's a little shallow, but we'll roll with it. I think that'll be a little bit better. When we got in the chat room, Nick, Quazel, Mama needs her wine. What's up, Dante? Someone stole your car. Wow. What's up, Rana? What's up, Sebastian? What's up, Maddox 1980? Then the next thing that I did was become disloyal. I was going to get out of that job before that job could get rid of me. And part of that was always be looking for something else. I used to be a very loyal employee. I was the kind of guy that would not quit a job, be there forever. So I was always looking for opportunities. I was rent-a-crate about 8 months, met this girl at Neocon who sold office furniture. She was drunk off her ass. And she was like, I made $185,000 last year selling furniture. I protected her from other vultures because she was very nice looking. And I became her friend, and she walked me into some of the business. What's up, iRock? I like the name. Deron C, all the way from Israel. What time is it over there? What's up, Ben the bartender? Nate the workaholic. What's going on? Old Game Roar. What have you done, Old Game Roar? So then I got an office furniture business, and I learned everything I could, and I became a sponge. Then there was this racist event. It seems timely with current events going on right now, where I walk in the conference room on a Monday morning, and Ken is saying Jim was an owner this weekend. And I walked in. They're all white guys. I'm the only black guy. Faces are red. I was like, we're going to have the sales meeting. And I ain't say nothing because I knew that if I didn't do this the correct way, I could end up back in that boarding house. So it took me 6 months to get out of there, but I got out of there and I hadn't had a job since. Now, you cannot take money out of the equation. There's a lot of people who will say it shouldn't be about the money. You should do it for the fuck that noise. The money buys you the power. The money buys you the access. I had a situation where I was pulled over by police. I had bought a car, private owner, a BMW 740i, flying, but brand new car, no tag. I figured because the guy I sold it to, he instantly took the tag off because his father was doing all kind of weird shit. So they took the tag, and I was like, okay, the chances of me being stopped are pretty high. So I didn't even put the insurance and all of this bill of sale. I just had it in the visor. So I'm coming up Roswell Road, whoop, whoop, get pulled over. It's raining. Now, here's another little tip. I knew the possibility of me getting pulled over was very high because it was a very nice car with no license plate. So it's raining. I pull into a service station, and I pull up to the pumps under this awning, right? I didn't know who the cop was because, like I said, I had a feeling it was like, hey, we're going to ask you about this tag. And I thought I'd be on my way. Well, white female officer comes in. I can remember, I got it all right there because I think I have it already figured out why I'm being stopped. So I have everything there. She takes it. She goes to the car. She comes back. Mr. Cameron, your license is expended. And I was like, No, it's not. Just like that. Because this was around the time that I had drove for Uber. And I went through all of that stuff. And I was like, no, I did Uber. I did all this other stuff. I wasn't even like mad because I was just like, this is clearly a mistake. And she's like, okay. She goes back to the car. She's in there like 5 minutes and she comes back and she's scratching that. It's like, your license was suspended for a ticket in 1989, but it's been renewed. So this doesn't make any sense. And I was like, that's what I'm telling you. I just went through this whole thing. And we're just sitting there having this conversation. And she's like, I'm not going to arrest you. I'm not going to impound your car. This is clearly a mistake. Go down there and get it cleared up. So I go down there and get it cleared up, get everything dismissed. Now, part of this happened because I am a privileged person. I make a lot of money. I do very well. And I have a certain air about myself. Like I said, when I got pulled over, I didn't get mad. I didn't and it wasn't like, yes, man. I don't even say that to cops. I don't go, yes, sir. I don't even say that shit. If they got a badge, it's like officer, whatever, officer friendly, whatever. And it was just like, because I was expecting to be stopped, I was prepared. And it wasn't and the windows were tinted. So she didn't know I was black. So it wasn't racial profiling. But I'm telling you that this whole story of that, even if you're black and you have privilege, and many people are going to like, no, you're black, they're going to do this to you. And I'm going to say, name one black celebrity or famous person who's been shot by the cops. Name one. You can't. I researched it. There aren't any. So money matters. I don't care if you're black. I don't care if you're white. Money matters. And there's this whole notion of what I call Hotep Nation getting together, come together as a community. But here's the problem. There are no leaders who know how to do the community building and how to make money and manage power. So even if everyone comes together, there's a lack of skill sets. And this is a fundamental problem for all people who are poor and who live in poverty. Same pathology, whether you're Asian, black, white, whatever. It's the same shit. Let's see. I'm in the chat. Y'all were rolling for a minute. Let's see. Famone, what they say is that the average college grad income is $50K, but what they don't tell you is the median income is less than $50K. Average income in this country per individual, because here's the Jedi mind trick. You're told household, Google it, and it'll go straight to household income, which is 2, 3, or 4 or 5 more people, right? Average income per single person is $28,000 to $32,000. 70% of the people in this country are there. So it gets to be interesting. Jay Sebastian, I'm great. I'm working hard on Hustle Camp stuff. Just for those of you who just came in, the price of Hustle Camp is going up tonight. Links below if you want to be part of it. I'm going to do something I call Epic Resale. This is something that I worked with a client on a long time ago. And it's a way to make your eBay, your Amazon, to make your Craigslist, your anything you're selling pop and sell faster. Links below. You want to be part of that. Oh, when I see there's a chance I could get fired to start looking for another job and leave. Oh, no. Old game roar. No. No. I wasn't worried about getting fired. My goal was to gain as much information and training and knowledge as I could and get on. I was rejecting them before they can reject me, whether there was anything going on or not. I did not stay in those jobs. Networking, thank you. Oh, business environments. Oh, wow, look at all this other stuff. Man, I can get into the apparel mart now. Oh, my goodness. That sure thing, Barry. Wow, 9:35 p.m. in Israel. That's pretty cool. What's up, Xavier in Mobile? What's up, Marlon? Deron C, my pay is garbage and the cost of living is very high. For those of you who don't know, in Israel, everything's imported, and the taxes and the import tariffs and stuff. A stroller could cost you $2,000. A stroller. No middle class here, just very rich. Or most people don't finish the month or in debt to the eyeballs for life. Wow. Chris, the money buys you more protection. Bill Cosby, pro athletes, black celebs, rich black foreigners. Fort McPherson, Georgia. And I was flying, and I get pulled over by this good old boy. who's a state trooper. Now, I grew up, it was a red damn driver. Business then, I was doing damn near 100. I saw the what's up, Carlton? Broke hotel. Dude, that whole thing is wild. Okay, Lamode, yard sale this weekend, Hustler Camp. Just for those you don't know, we're going through a process, and I'm just kind of ingrain a little bit of Hustler Camp, because Hustler Camp, for those who didn't know, is how I went from broke Dick Danny to who I am today. It is not going to happen in a few weeks or months. It took me years, years. I have to, sit on that and say years, because everybody wants to go to pay Percy within a few weeks. But if you look at the situations and the decisions that you made, it took years for you to probably be where you. Let's be clear, it's slow, but it's going to be a long-term project. Coin and all this other stuff. We are a long way before any of those major transfers of our monetary currency. And when I say, I'm talking about decades. I don't care if Bitcoin hits $1 million. It is still not going to replace the dollar anytime soon. Now, with that said, I own Bitcoin. I've had Bitcoin for years. And I say get in the game, educate yourself, but build yourself a real business that makes real money right now. Let's see. Randall Brett, I come from good old boy family and can't stand most of those bastards. I went to school with a lot of those guys. Hustlers Camp, today it's $100. It's a lot into it, because here's the thing with Hustler Camp. It's includes a few courses and the Facebook group, which is the only Facebook group I have. And it's not one of those groups where I'm just dropping all kinds of quotes, and typically I'm going to post 1 to 4 times a day, and I'll be in the group, answer questions, and I provide guidance. But I can tell you the epic resale part is going to be well worth it, because I listed some stuff. Because one of the challenges is getting your house in order and getting rid of extra stuff that you don't need to make money. And I got 4 cameras and only used 2. So I'm selling the other 2 in the lenses. And I used this technique I developed with a client, and everything got bids within 2 minutes. I mean, stuff, Peter, is really interesting. And I didn't do shit for the description. I just nothing. I think because people don't read descriptions. They look at pictures. That's what they look at. They don't read descriptions. So I'll be teaching you how to do that. Kimmit Trill, if you drop in a city with only $1,000, what's your first hustle? To get a job. And the reason I say that is, unless you're going to do something illegal, there's very few things, unless you have a high skill set with flipping stuff, that you can buy and flip in order you to get a hotel, buy food, and all that other stuff. What's up? Below the video, but many people have pushed back on me with the Walmart. What's the second largest type company like that? Amazon. Now, what is their core edict? Low prices from the store. Vendors in the supply chain. Then the supply chain vendors, unless you're willing to pay, they're more successful than business college professors. Typically, and I think this has changed, but I'm not sure. In the old days, many business college professors never started a business. So they were purely speaking theory. Or maybe they did some case studies on some companies. So it's very interesting. I would love to join Hustle Camp, but I think too much and probably have a fear of failing. Here, there's no such things as garage sales or yard sales. Well, you're in Israel, and I worked with some people before. What you will have to do is find something in Israel, and as you know, there's a lot of tech in Israel, and you have to export it, or you have to figure out some other skill. It just really depends. Let's see, where invest your time and money? You invest in you. Now, the big thing with the poverty trap, okay, because right now I'm going to give you some doom and gloom. The next recession is going to be more brutal than the last one. And the last one was pretty brutal because there are many people who have not recovered. you're going to see the emergence of classes because, many people, like I was telling you about my experience with the state trooper and the police and all this other stuff. Other than when I had my store in DeKalb County, Tucker, Georgia, did I get really harassed by the police. Every time I fucking turned around, I was getting pulled over for something. And then I put the license plates of the vehicles in the corporate name and poof, it all stopped. It was amazing. Tip for you there. But typically, I'm not a rowdy, cantankerous, get in your face person. I'm pretty laid back, so that's a big part of it. But get yourself some money, get yourself together, and you can avoid a lot of this stuff. Now, with this coming thing, this next recession, and with the emergence of the classes, there's already rich people. They're already here. That's never going away. And then there's some semblance of a middle class. And essentially the middle class are people who can, if their car breaks down, they can get it fixed. But if they had a huge medical emergency and if they don't have a good family unit, they're ass out. It's just one big crisis and everything falls apart. So that's kind of middle class. And they don't have money. They have resources and better jobs. Then the next largest swath is people who are poor. These are the folks with 2 and 3 jobs. They have 2, 3, 4 roommates. They got to do this to live because they don't make any money. Now, those 2 groups are going to be impacted more so than any other group. And then there's another class, which I'm a member of. It's the creative class. That's a whole different ball game. Now, this is not something that I just like, hey, I want to be a member of this. Coders, web developers, those people. That's going to be a whole new level of wealth. I mean, you're going to see trillionaires in our lifetime, and they're going to come from the creative class. Let's see, what do we got here? Old Game Roar. My dad got out a ticket for cutting off a cop when he was racing toward a call. He was yelling at my dad and asked for his ID. My dad gave him his military ID, and he changed tunes completely. I've told many people this, and the response I get from certain people, depending upon their disposition, is, well, I ain't going to join the white man. I'm like, I did that out of high school. I still think, as crazy as this may sound, that if you don't know what the hell you want to do, joining the military, I would stress Navy, Air Force first, then Army and Marines, is a good way to get out and get yourself some experience. No, man, Chris, there's a lot of broke people in Israel. There is a government program for Israeli citizens who own homes and rent to a certain class of Israeli families that our government by the cop. Now, I'm going to ask you guys something. This all deals with as suspects. That's just talk to them. If you go talk to these folks, they'll tell you they get harassed by the cops more than anyone else. Now, this thing with Justine, and this is something I've talked about before, but I'm going to go deeper into it. Like Trayvon Martin, if anyone who gets a lot of social push behind their death, if you notice they're attractive, and people than black are shot in this country every year. But for some reason, those stories stay suppressed and they stay local. And every time some black person let out these stories of white people being shot by the cops, you would have holy hell on your hands. And you saw some of it because there was a bunch of people marching and protesting because this happened in Minneapolis, same place that Philando Castile was shot, same city, I believe. And his girlfriend came, but there was a bunch of white people. I've never seen that many white people protesting a police shooting. Now, imagine if all of those shootings of white people got put out and the way that the black shootings did, you would see nothing but black people, white people, Hispanic people, arm in arm, protesting these shootings, and a lot of shit would get done. Just telling you, I've been peeping this for years. And that's part of the poverty trap because all people who are poor are treated the same. Really, let's see. Mark from Facebook said a press conference, a universal income about $1,000 a month for poor people. Basic income, $1,000 to $100. Someone was just saying that if everyone had a basic income, everyone had insurance, that the creativity and the innovation would be off the charts. And I wholeheartedly disagree because the people who want to do it, they're doing it. They're like, I don't care. I'm going to do this stuff. So I think that is just false. Let's see. Also, white civilians are the main ones killing the police officers. Once again, this isn't reported. That's true. It's a false narrative. And the media still, well, no, they're not really silent on the opioid crisis because those folks are going to Congress and they're actually legislating, because that's one of the holdups with the GOP senators why they will not say yes to this healthcare thing, because they want to carve out too much money. And people in West Virginia, Maine, these are big epicenters for that crisis. So the media's all over that for the first time because it is an epidemic. What's your cool ass? Okay, that's a different name. Yeah, it's live. Um, you think code enforcement is bad? Come to East Point. These people, it was ugly. Pretty much, capable people able to succeed. But the whole thing is, another part of this is why you want to get your money up, why you want to start separating and changing your class, because in each class there is positive attributes. Like if you're in a poor neighborhood and everyone knows who the Kool-Aid mom is, everyone knows who the cool people are, there's certain benefits and privileges certain people hold. There's certain things. I mean, I used to live in the West End and I just saw this. Like there was this Muslim who had brokered some kind of deal with the drug dealers where they would not sell drugs in the park. And unfortunately, he ended up shooting a cop, and now he's in jail. But there's all kinds of things. But there are benefits, but those benefits are more emotional, more family oriented. Whereas if you move up in class and you move into a better neighborhood, you can meet people you can do business with. Money does not care who makes it. And I've seen this over and over again. What's up, Diana? And that's another thing, because once you start changing classes, and let's talk about what is changing classes. Changing classes is not just money. If you want to move out of your social economic class, you're going to have to change how you think. You're going to have to change who you associate with, and you're going to change who you date. You got to do that, because let's say you meet this nice person who just has a lot of hood pathologies, right? And you want to elevate your life, but this person is loyal to the hood pathologies. You're going to have so many problems when you go to work and you bring hood pathologies to work. Then all of a sudden, people don't talk to you the way. You don't get cued into certain things because you're so ratchet. Unless you're serving those people. I want you to look at this. And I know people go like, well, that's not true. Well, black, rich male who became president. Hillary was rich, but Hillary was still a woman. And, I was just thinking it was going to happen, but it didn't. Oh, no, your name's fun with your cool ass. Let's see. My name is Marcel from recruiting here at the Walmart home office. Money. Yeah, some things will change, but you got to make them change. Roz Biz is learning low key at work. But those are some heavy duty changes that you will have to impose on your life. And it's hard. It sounds so little, but bougie or trying to be elitist, it's just this is what we do in pursue business, but all the money changing hands around me. Drug deals, prostitution, loan shark, it made me love business. You love crime, Patty. Hillary's a criminal and weak woman. What's up, Ken? Obama and Harry, because I figured he was rich. I didn't really know about his financials, but he was not poor. He was not middle class, because they were both attorneys, probably doing 250,000 a year. So he was anywhere near poor. Well, part of the thing with voting for Trump, and let's talk about that. And many people are going to disagree with me because I get it every time I say it. I'm going to tell you what scared me. And this was in a sales group I was on Facebook. This guy posted, I felt funny giving money to a man who was a billionaire. And at that point, I was like, damn. Because he said, I felt funny, but I did it anyway. That was just really, really deep. and can put my car. Okay, Cassie, LLC stuff is simple. Has son, I just was approved for 10,000. Just wanted to see if I can get it. If you got like six, I don't have to be here. You're just here to get out the house. He just had this little twinkle in his eye. Guy had many businesses and everything, and he just like he gained a lot of weight, and he said he needed to get out of the house and do something. Money you had, money like where people go to places and there's someone that follows them around and pays all their bills and they never touch. Weren't taught how to handle money. They were taught how to boss people around. They were taught how to order. They were taught how to set a place setting. They don't know how to handle money. They don't know how to run a business, and they have handlers because they're just like kind of son in a decent school system. Oh, Tucker, forget which road, but I watched them build that, and all of those Indian people moved into that neighborhood. It wasn't like that before. Then the test scores and everything went up. They have a whole community there, and it is whenever they have this holiday or this ceremony, their cars literally stacked up along over with your cool ass. So thank you for the hard truth. Anyone want a relation of emotional lack, emotional bankruptcy, and get all this money? But the thing is, if you get all this money and you don't fix your internal problems, you're going to end up in the worst situation. Ian Cofield. That's the truth. I had to find out the hard way. What exactly did you find out, Cofield? What's up, Benny? Benny, I'm still teaching. I'm teaching this summer. I make $35 an hour, but still not enough. Hate to tell you guys. Well, here's another thing, and this is something we're doing in Hustle Camp. Why isn't it enough? You got bills. Here's the thing, and this is something that I've done, and I'm currently practicing. Like, there's this car I want, but until I put enough money in, you've got to downgrade your lifestyle to upgrade your life. And if there are things like physical things, a certain kind of car, a certain apartment, a certain house, if you can get rid of that puppy, get rid of it, balance out, get your cash together, and then you won't be so stressed out. Ben the bartender, Trump reached this market. Trump now that's going like, what did I do? And then the core supporters, they don't care. They don't care what he does. Some of them are, Benny. Some of them, I actually, just very fresh. The story is 9-10 million. But groups of people talk about each other, but they never talk to each other. It's just be with me. I wrote a book. And that person may be like, damn, I can't do that. So, once again, that creative class thing is deep. When you get in a creative class, there's a lot of stuff you can do, and you can move between many different classes. Because like music, people who make music are part of the creative class. Music is universal. Poor people, middle income, rich people, everybody listens to music. If it's banging, that head bobs. So that's the power of the creative class. Let's see. Highway 29. Okay. Yep. That's it. Most people, dabblers are agreeing. Let's see, Cassie. I am setting up property management company, getting a children's book published, just wanting on illustrations. That's what I need info for. Do you have clients? Do you have money coming in? Because I'm going to tell you a little funny story. I have a new company called Mac Daddy Media, right? Just started this year. The website's not done. But before, I have this problem. I make money and have so many things I want to spend it on. How do you shift it? First thing you do is set up a budget. Regardless of how much money you have coming in, everybody needs a budget. Then you adhere to that budget. We'll be talking about in the Hustle Camp, because if you run your personal finances, like you run a lot of stuff you can get. Like I just talked about, there's this car I want, and I don't want to move stuff around, but until I save up cash, I'm not getting it. I'm just not. I could get it right now, but it's not proper allocation of resources. So you got to budget yourself. Everyone needs to get out of that social economic class without a voracious effort, because there's just too many cultural, tribal, personality, habits, family. They'll just keep trying to pull you back. Like, take all of these rappers who get mega money and get pulled back into the most rappers, entertainers, athletes make generational life-changing wealth money and get pulled into all kinds of crazy stuff because your habits are more powerful than your willpower. It's leaving your hand, you will learn to hold on to it. Benny, why don't people like to talk about money? I believe when you talk about it, it comes into your life. People are so hung up on money. All right, let's talk about it. A lot of people love to talk about money. Poor people love to tell people with money how they should spend it. When you have money and people know you have money, folks start asking you for stuff, and then they will try to guilt you into give. I mean, it's just better to like. I used to lie a lot when I had the store, and people's like, "You don't." I'm like, I just work here, because people immediately change when they find out you have power, and they be trying to do all kinds of stuff. Money's nice. That too, been the bartender, because a lot of people think money's evil. They think people who have money are evil, because the movies have a lot to do with that. Because every time there's some evil person, it's this evil billionaire, this evil millionaire who's hell bent on ruling the world. Black men exclusively. What are you talking about? Diaspora EL. Louis the seller. That's why I respect Jordan and Magic, billionaires after basketball. There's going to be in probably a sad thing, because I understand wanting to be loyal to your friends, but if your friends are criminals, all they're going to do is mess up your success. A lot of people have dysfunctional quicksand Negroes around us. That's funny. Roz, I need to up my credit score. Ask my rich classmate how she fixed her credit. Her parents added to their credit cards and helped her raise their score. Yeah, I did that for my kid. You know, if you got an old card, and this is the beauty of this, you don't even have to give them the credit card. You just like put me on this unauthorized user, and provided that their credits, you know, on that card is good, you inherit that history, and within 3 to 4 months, your score will go to like 7 or something. It's real easy. But once again, let's talk about Roz. When you say your rich classmate, okay, is she really rich, or do you perceive her to be rich because she has more than you? Because rich is really relative, and I'm not like beating up on you. I'm trying to educate you here, because really rich is assets of, let's say rich, assets of 10 to 15 million. That's rich. If you make 300 to 800,000 a year, you may not be rich because you have earned income. Rich is when assets make you money. That's a whole different ballgame. So they can just be well paid. And the thing is, that's crazy. I knew that tactic, and I was able to do it for my kid, because the thing is, going back to the whole poverty thing and poor thing, if everybody is poor, there's nobody with good credit that can put you on the credit card to raise your score. So that's one of the reasons. I mean, it could be your parents, it could be a friend if they understand how this thing works. Ace Bank. People need to learn how to get things done themselves. Most people don't have money problems. They have bad habits. Bad habits can be a really big thing. LeVar Ball, BBB. If you guys watch this year's draft, he influenced several of them to leave college after 1 year. Here's my thing on that. If I had a son who was really good in basketball and he was in college, I would say this. If you can leave after 1 year, leave. You can always go back and get a college degree. You can't always get drafted in the top 10 in the NBA. That window's like that. It's like that. So, and many people are like, oh, no, stay and get the degree. I'm like, for what? Rich versus affluent. So it's a lot of stuff. But the thing is, you have to start to move yourself out there. Now, another big thing, and used to talk about this all the time, was tribalism. Many people cannot move forward because they feel if they move forward economically, that they're somehow disloyal to their friends and family who have not moved forward economically. And this is deep. It is deep. It is crazy. But there are people out there who are working as cashiers in Walmart, barista in Starbucks, and these people could be doctors. They've got the mental intellect, the material to be that kind of person, but because of the family tribalism, they're not even aiming for anything like that. Oh, Nivitz, do you think it's immoral to start ditching your current friends to start hanging out with people of higher status once you start increasing your financial state? I have a client, we're walking through this right now. Keep your friends. Now, with that said, who are your real friends? There are people you hang out with, people you're cool with, folks you've been down with since PS 102, right? But there's only going to be a handful of them that are like going to be your true friends. Keep them, protect them, cherish them, but still expand your circles and start hanging out with folks on the higher plane. You could do both. You don't have to like get rid of them. But if these friends are like shitting on you or causing you problems because they're seeing you growing, yeah, you got to get rid of them or they will strangle your success. What's up, Cartel? Been the bartender diving into the course. It's a slow go, but it's already seeing extra money. Congratulations. Lottery pick status is crucial. I'm like, seriously, like the NBA draft, not the NFL draft. Everyone that went in that first round got millions, not $1 million contract, millions. And that, seriously, if they go in and only play 4 years, it's worth it. It's worth it. Most of this country is poor. Even with the agents, the taxes, whatever. These guys, if they manage their money well, are going to come out of the NFL beast mode with money. Marshawn Lynch, he didn't spend his money. He out here doing stuff, having fun. Now he's back with the Raiders. For Mom, have you ever fired any of your family members? I have a rule. I've never had any business doings with any of my family members. So I've never had to fire anybody. So that's never a concern. Louis, the cellular tribalism can destroy families. It has damaged minds, but separation from the negative mindset was important and needed for me. Damn. Okay, Darren C. If you don't have contacts, how can you make the proper contacts to start to make bank? I'm going to answer that question like this. You don't make the proper contacts to bank. You start doing something, and then the contacts will come to you. You'll, like, okay, this guy. Like I said, I have a feeling we're going to be friends. How did I meet him? Was I looking for him? No, I went out to buy a camera. I met him and we had this chat. And he's like, look, be sure to keep in contact with me. Let's talk. That's how I got that contact. You got to be on the battlefield. Too many folks are like, I'm going to stay here and I'm not going to do anything until I get the right. No. You got to get up, get out and get something. Outcast. Circa 1988 or 9, whatever the year that was. You got to be in motion, man. It isn't about getting in contact. It's about creating something that draws new energy to you. Like I could tell you, you want to meet a lot of people and make a lot of contacts, write a book. Write a book, tell people you're writing a book, and you will have contacts hopping out your ass. I mean, seriously, you just like your friends, they're not going anywhere. Whether your friends are annoying and you just want a better life, that's a whole different world. Sebastian, today is my birthday and I'm just found out that I'm in the creative class. The creative class is going to be really, really big going forward. These folks are going to create, like when we get this VR thing together, that's going to be the creative class. The coding, Minority Report, you're going to walk into a mall and it's going to be just like when you go to Amazon or some website, and then if you look at this thing and it starts following you all around the internet, you're going to walk in a mall or a store and it's going to see you, scan you, and start recommending things based upon the big data it has on you. That's going to be the creative class that's going to create that. Ross, thanks to my new friends, I started a property management LLC. I'm in the process of placing rental property in the trust, but I've not quit my day job, IT, yet. Here's the rule on quitting your job. You quit your job when it costs you money from your business, and most people will not get there for a while. All right. They're fighting in the chat room. Children. Okay, I'm getting ready to bounce. We're going to have a lot more things, but if you want to be part of Hustle Camp, you need to get in today because, Hustle Camp's not going anywhere. We're going to continue to add stuff. But when I put in the epic resale, like I already started dropping some of that in there today, I'm going to move the price up. I don't know what I'm going to move it up to, but I'm going to move it up because that alone, Hustle Camp's $100. You use epic resale, you can earn that back today. So, or when I started doing the Epic's resale course. Yeah. So I don't know when I'm going to do it, but you want to get in today because I am going to change the price tomorrow. Don't know yet, but I am going to do it. Don't know what it's going to be. But it wasn't just you needed some that you allowed to meet the best. No, he started talking to me because the whole thing was because of this YouTube channel. Really quick before I bounce, I'm selling my Canon 70D and I'm selling all of my camera and lenses and stuff because I'm going 100% 4K. And, essentially I looked at some of my old videos 8 years ago and I hate them because the quality sucks. And I realized the longer I continue to do this, I'm going to need to shoot in 4K because it's going to come with 6K and it's probably going to come. The 6K is already out for the Epic Red camera. And I'm just like across the board. I don't know. Do I even have that? Yeah. I got my GoPro. Well, the GoPros are 4K anyway. This is a Hero 5. So my cell phone shoots in 4K. So whatever device I use, it's all in 4K. So because with editing, if you're using 1080p and you got something in 4K, your editing is going to crop everything down to 1080p. And that's just not what I want. That is hilarious.